Kashmir was known to the Romans, who had trading contacts with India and Central Asia, and only royalty could afford to indulge in the pleasures of Kashmir. After the fall of the Roman Empire, knowledge of Kashmir was lost in the West until about 3.5 centuries ago. Kashmir shawls were being woven in Kashmir in the 11th century, but the industry producing what we today refer to as a cashmere or cashmere shawl had its origins in the 15th century, when weaving of tapestry shawls was first introduced into the valley from Turkestan by Zainul Abidin, the ruler of Kashmir. During its history, Kashmir had Mughal, Afghan, and Sikh innovations, all of which left their influence stylistically on the shawls. The Mughals were originally from the quintessential home of Kashmir, Mongolia. Mughal is a variation of Mongol. They conquered Kashmir in 1586. Under their rule, the arts blossomed and shawl makers flourished. Weavers were brought in from eastern Turkestan, where the type of weave later used for Kashmir shawls was practiced. The collapse of the Mughal Empire left many weavers unemployed. The situation, however, was saved by the enormous increase in demand from Europe, where the shawls became popular in the later part of the 18th century. From about 1775, high-quality cashmere shawls began to find their way to France and England. They were acquired by travelers, explorers, and military personnel, as well as members of the East India Company, who, appreciating their beauty and warmth, brought them back as presents. The huge revival of the 19th century began with one very special cashmere shawl, a rare pashmina, which belonged to the Mameluke Pasha Mehmet Ali, who ruled Egypt in the name of the Ottoman Emperor. Napoleon decided to conquer Egypt, apparently for no better reason than that Alexander the Great had done so, and because all glory resides there. Eager to appease Napoleon, Pasha Mehmet Ali made him a present of the most precious object he could find, his prized Kashmir pashmina shawl. And Napoleon duly bestowed it upon his beloved Empress Josephine. Josephine instantly fell in love with the fabulously soft cashmere and soon made it a staple of her wardrobe, amassing a collection of more than 1,000 cashmere shawls. The Empress Eugenie, wife of Napoleon III, would likewise champion cashmere. Since that moment, cashmere has been associated with wealth and power, not only in France but throughout Europe as well. When the general-in-chief of the French campaign in Egypt, 1799 to 1802, sent a shawl to Paris, the shawl's arrival is said to have created an immediate sensation, and plans were put in place to start manufacturing the product in France. Trading in commercial quantities of raw cashmere between Asia and Europe began with Valérie Audresset, S.A., Louviers, France, claiming to be the first European company to commercially spin cashmere. The down was imported from Tibet through Kazan, the capital of the Russian province Volga, and was used in France to create imitation woven shawls. However, the late 19th century saw the cashmere industry migrate and develop within Scotland, due to the soft waters of the local rivers that are so crucial to the handle of the finished product. By 1830, the weaving of cashmere shawls using yarn produced in France had become an important Scottish industry, and the Scottish Board of Trustees, for the encouragement of arts and manufacturers, offered a £300 reward to the first person who could spin cashmere in Scotland, based on the French system. Captain Charles Stewart Cochrane collected the required information while in Paris and received a Scottish patent for the process in 1831. In the autumn of 1831, the patent was sold to Henry Holdsworth, the Sons of Glasgow. In 1832, Henry Holdsworth and Sons commenced the manufacture of yarn, and in 1833 received the reward. In 1890, Scottish manufacturer Joseph Dawson set out to invent the first commercial dehairing machine. The innovation made the Cashmere Manufacture Centre move to Scotland, and it indicated the beginning of a new century of cashmere products. The fibre was made into top-quality cashmere yarn, prior to being knitted and then converted into many types, colors, and sizes of different garments. During the decades that followed, cashmere knitwear, made in Scotland, grew in repute. Today, the luxury and exclusivity of Scottish cashmere is still highly prized, and designers from all over the world come to Scotland to make their designs into reality. Precious, sumptuous to the touch, and extremely expensive, cashmere quickly became the preserve of royals like young Queen Victoria of England, who habitually wore white cashmere stockings, only cashmere being soft enough to be permitted to caress the royal thighs. So enamored was Victoria with cashmere that she reared her own herd of cashmere goats, which had the run of Windsor Park. Perhaps as a nod to Her Majesty's enthusiasm, a cashmere goat was adopted as the mascot of the Royal Welsh Fusiliers. Championed by the Queen, cashmere became the fabric of choice for every gentlewoman in England. By the 1920s, Coco Chanel and fellow Parisian courtier Jean Pateau had discovered its fine jersey weights and wonderful tactile properties and proceeded to transform cashmere into highly desirable fashion clothing. By the 1950s, beautifully colored twin sets, which are now considered classics, were made famous by such film stars as Grace Kelly. In the world market, Mongolia supplies over 20% of the cashmere demands, rated after its southern neighbor China, leaving Iran and Afghanistan behind. Cashmere's most important property of fineness is found only in Mongolian and Chinese goats, and the average fineness is 14.5 to 16.6 microns. As of 2009, Mongolia has 19,651,500 goats. On average, a goat gives 280 grams of cashmere. This means that Mongolia produces 55,000 tons of raw cashmere a year. When the raw cashmere is processed and dehaired, it loses 50%. Goat cashmere is super productive in a harsh climate of Central Asian mountainous areas. Goat raw cashmere is consisted of cashmere, hair, and semi-hair. Cashmere's properties are wavy, evenly creasy, soft, light, and heat condensing. Its average fineness is 14.0 to 17.0 micron, and length is 38 to 45 micron. Compared with hair and intermediate hair, cashmere is quite soft, light, short, fine, and silky, depending on its breeding. Blue Sky Cashmere is a dedicated manufacturer of cashmere garments, established with European executive management to bring the best practices of the world's most experienced manufacturers and demanding consumers to the Mongolian industry. Blue Sky uses state-of-the-art equipment to manufacture the highest quality garments. Blue Sky's fully integrated operations allow management and technicians to have full control over design and quality. The equipment is the most technologically advanced machinery available, purchased from Italy, Germany, and the United Kingdom. The machines were custom built to our specifications, with guidance from the technical experts at Blue Sky. Specialist operators have been brought to Mongolia from the traditional European cashmere manufacturing countries of Scotland and Italy to ensure technology transfer to the Mongolian workforce. The product range consists of woven scarves, shawls, blankets, jacketing and coating fabric, and knitted garments including sweaters, shawls, hats, gloves, scarves, socks, blankets, ponchos, and other accessories. The design team features designers from France, Scotland, Russia, and Mongolia who have worked with Max Mara, Missoni, Elisa Tokocheva, Johnsons of Elgin, and Peter Scott. The Blue Sky team has produced garments to the exacting requirements of fashion houses such as Prada and Ralph Lauren. All our factory employees are given special training based on international management training methods to ensure that they have the technical skills and meet the rigorous standards demanded by the company. The company has brands, Blue Sky Cashmere and International Cashmere, which are used for the domestic market, and our internet retail accessories collection, soon to be launched worldwide. The second brand will be an haute couture range, which will only be available in select stores in the major cities throughout the world, and also in the Central Tower complex in Ulaanbaatar. The experience of the senior management team and our devotion to product quality, design, and employee training is what gives Blue Sky Cashmere Company its competitive advantage.